Vishka, and today we are in Scotland. If you are thinking that in what language I am speaking in the video, that's because I was actually talking in an Indian language, which is Assamese. Whatsoever, just ignore that part. And Palas, why don't you tell that what we are doing in such a beautiful place right now?
Hi guys, Palash here. So today we are in a whiskey distillery. It's called the Royal Lochnagar Distillery in Scotland, and we're gonna be taking a tour inside this distillery and we'll try to understand how they make their beautiful whiskey.
So let's go!
It's Palash here, you can see me now.
We are inside a distillery right now. We are very happy that this video has been sponsored by Royal Lochnagar Distillery itself, and here we introduce you to...
I'm Claire McCabe, I'm the branch manager here at Royal Lochnagar Distillery. I'm going to take you and show you how we make our special single Highland malt.
So first of all, thank you Claire for sponsoring this tour.
We'd like to say a few words to our viewers sitting right there and watching us.
Well, say well, hello from Scotland. We are a very traditional distillery here at Royal Lochnagar. We have been here for 175 years this year, so it's our birthday.
It's a birthday this year! Happy birthday Royal Lochnagar!
175? 175 years old.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So that's the whiskey we make, which is our single malt.
Yeah.
We will also be going into blends such as Johnny Walker, which I know are very popular back home.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and Claire, what's the difference between single malt and double malt?
Well, there's not really such a thing as a double malt. So in Scotland we tend to talk about single malt, which is the produce of one distillery. So that's what we make here.
Yeah.
We can take our whiskey along with other distilleries' whiskies, mix them together, and that's known as a blend. So that's lots of whiskies married together to create lots of different flavours. Whereas this is just like, if you think of it, wine is like one chateau rather than a blend of, say, different grapes and varieties. So it's the same idea.
So now let's follow Claire. She will show us the distillation process. Building as well as this company?
And some of the buildings are, yes, but there have been some additions over the years.
Okay.
But so we were built in 1845 by a man known as John Begg. We were operating as the new Lochnagar Distillery. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert first came in 1848, so 3 years later, and they were invited up and they granted us the name Royal, so we've been known as Royal Lochnagar. She used to visit and she used to mix her whiskey with claret wine. Our single malt whiskey, we are only allowed by law to use 3 ingredients. So every distillery in Scotland is using the same 3 ingredients, just in slightly different ways to achieve different flavours. So first of all, we use barley. So this is grown in the fields. It is put through a process known as malting before it's delivered to us. Basically, we trick the barley into thinking it's springtime. It will grow slightly, soften for us, and then we can use it. Some distilleries will burn peat or turf to smoke the malt, and this gives smoky flavours into some of our whiskies. We don't use any here, so we are an unpeated whiskey, so we don't have a smoky flavour in the whiskey.
So which is better, the smoky one or unsmoky one in terms of
it
the taste? Depends what you like.
Yes.
It depends on the taste of the person.
Absolutely. So I like both, but some people don't. So you love them or hate them, the smoky whiskies.
I've never tried actually.
Any whiskey or smoky whiskey? Okay, so we have barley, we need yeast, which is to make it into alcohol, and obviously water. And our water comes from this mountain here, which is known as Lochnagar, so that's where our name comes from. So it's from the mountain, it's about 6 miles behind us here at the distillery.
So Royal came from the Queen and Lochnagar came from these mountains.
Yes. So the first thing that we do here at the distillery is we are going to take the malt, the barley, and we grind it into a fine flour mixture with the husks through the mill.
This is the mill.
This isn't the mill we use now, it was our old one, but the one we use is very similar. And this, it grinds it into that flour and husk mixture. And what we will do is add hot water. It will convert the starches and the flours to sugar, and then from there we have the sugars to make the alcohol with. So if you follow me through here, we're going to follow the ground barley, which we call the grist.
Guys, now let's go and check out the main distillation process. That's the mill, right? Where you put the...
This is the mashing process. This is where we're going to add the ground barley, the twist, with the water.
Yeah.
And we basically make it into like porridge.
Okay. And for how many hours you do this?
It will take roughly about 8 hours. So we'll put in 5.4 tons of the ground barley and about 20,000 litres of water. And it will be at 63.5 degrees Celsius. And that will convert the starches into the sugars that we need. Now this mash tun here is a traditional style with a no copper top or silver top covering the mash tun. So it's one of the most traditional left in Scotland.
Right.
It basically works like a big coffee pot. So we're putting the ground barley and the water in. Through the bottom, the sugary water's coming through, but the barley will stay in here. So it's like a huge coffee filter.
Right.
The sugary water, we're going
All
to...
the waste would go down, you mean to say, right?
Yes, we keep the waste in here.
Waste in over here.
What we're wanting is the sugary water.
Going down, right, like coffee,
Like coffee, exactly. So we're going to take the hot sugary water across here. We don't waste the barley that's left in the mash tun. That will be sold to farmers and it will be used to feed animals.
So nothing is wasted?
Nothing's wasted, no. So we'll take the hot water, we cool it down in this machine here, we add the yeast, and that's all of our ingredients added in.
Right.
Yeah.
So the smell, what's the smell? It's the smell of the barley?
It's the fermentation process here. So we've taken the sugary liquid, the yeast, it comes in through this red pipe here, and into either one of the two wooden vessels. They hold about 28,000 litres each.
Right.
So they get about 5 metres in height. They'll go beneath the floor.
Right. So the red line is the yeast and the product, right?
Yes.
And the white line?
The white line is just a return line for cleaning.
For
cleaning.
For cleaning.
So it's just for flushing it through, but the red line is the most important one, and it will add it into either one of the two washbacks.
It's very high, right?
It is, yeah.
Oh my.
And this is a cold day outside. When it's hot outside, it's even hotter. So the wash, the simple beer that we have made, we're going to keep in this tank, the wash receiver. We split it into 4 batches, and we're going to take it and put it into the wash still. This is like a big copper kettle. So inside we heat it with a coil of steam, and we're going to heat it up. It's going to start to bubble and froth. We will see it in the glass here. The alcohol will separate off as a vapour, go over the swan neck, down the live pipe, but most of the spirit vapour will simply rise, cool to a degree, and then fall back down again.
Right.
This is really important. This gives us a green and grassy character, as the copper will remove the heavier elements or taste away from the spirit. So the more this reflux happens, the repeating, the lighter your character will become.
Yeah. And how this thing, it goes up and it comes down because of the boiling?
Heats up. So we're almost getting it to boiling of the alcohol temperature. So the alcohol's boiling but the water isn't. So it's going to rise off. It will cool slightly, not very much, and it will fall back down again. Once it's hot enough, it's light enough, it will rise over and down and go outside to a worm tub, which is a copper coil in a cold bath of water. And as the spirit vapour goes through the coil, it'll condense back into a liquid. And that liquid for us is known as the low wines. It's strong, it's about 25%, but it's not strong enough. So we're going to repeat the process in this still, and then it will come out. Downstairs you can see the liquid running through there. The alcohol first rises off of here, it is too strong. So what we're going to do down at what we call the safe is we split it. So for the first 20 minutes it's too strong, it won't taste like Royal Lochnagar. We will then turn the handle of where that liquid's coming out of and direct it into the other bowl. And then we will take what's known as the heart of the run, or the mid-cut spirits. So that is the right strength and flavour to make Royal Lochnagar. The alcohol which comes through the right strength and flavour, it will be roughly around 68%, 69%. We will add a little water to that to make 63.5%. Then we will fill it into the casks directly here at the distillery.
Ooh! Look at at this.
So you keep the whiskies over here in the barrels.
So this is where we fill them,
Yeah.
and we do keep some of them here. But first of all, say we fill it just by gravity. There's no electricity, no pumps. You just simply open the taps. We open this, drop these down, and then we will fill one of these casks.
Right.
So these are 500 litre European oak sherry refill butts. The butts just means the 500 litre tarn. So there are different sizes of these casks, but these are the ones that we use. They're known as butts.
Okay.
So we're going to fill 14 of these on a Tuesday and 14 on a Friday. Once they are filled, we will close them with a bung. We'll hammer that so it's closed. Then they will be held across here in the duty-free warehouse.
So these are all whiskies right
They're
now.
all whiskey and they're all full.
Do you need any kind of a sort of a specific, wood to make all this?
Yes.
Right?
So we need to use oak, and we have to use oak by law.
Okay.
So we tend to use European oak, which gives us a nice rich fruity character and a darker colour as well.
Okay.
And that's the casks that we
That
are
also
using.
it plays a very important role, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We
Yes.
cannot make whiskey without oak.
Yes.
It must be held in these casks for a minimum of 3 years.
Yes.
And bottled in Scotland before we can call it single malt whiskey.
Look at the view. Look at the view. You are really going to miss it if you're not coming here. If you're not visiting here, then you are absolutely going to miss something a big deal.
Yeah. So you should visit Royal Lochnagar to see
Yes.
the distillation process of
Exactly.
their scotch.
Yes.
Sorry?
What this for?
So the draft, the spent barley, that will be held in there before the farmer comes to collect.
And the farmers use for their in agriculture for
Yes,
their
for feeding
for
animals.
feeding animals. Sorry. And this is all your property.
Yes, we don't actually own it.
Yeah.
So we are owned by an estate known as Abergeldy.
Yeah.
So we sit on Balmoral Estate, begins where the trees begin.
Yeah.
So we are very, very close neighbours, but we actually rent the distillery from the Laird, who's the landowner of Abergeldy. So we have a 100-year lease. We don't own the distillery, but we very much run it.
Okay.
Okay, so in here we have a selection of about 40 different distilleries, and they are all our sister distilleries. We use these to train people how to nose and to taste whiskies properly. So if you want, I can let you have a smell from some of these casks.
Oh, why not? Please.
So now, in today's world, things a little bit more safe.
Yes.
So normally we'd let you nose and so smell directly from there. But if you want to take one of these strips of paper to this glass here, so it's like a perfume strip,
Okay.
you will be able to smell the whiskey.
I will dip it.
Yes, perfect.
How old is this?
So this one is from 1991, and this cask is an American oak cask, so you should smell lots of toffee, vanilla, and brown sugar, that sort of thing. So if you have a smell and see what you think.
What do you smell? It's good.
Yes. It's really. I can smell the vanilla. Yeah, of course. Some kind of chocolate.
Yeah, like a milk chocolate. Okay, so here we're giving you a taste of our Royal Lochnagar 12 years old. This is our standard bottling, and hopefully you should be able to smell the green grassy character we've spoken about throughout the distillery. It may come across more like apples or apple pie in the 12-year-old. So give it a taste first of all with no water added and see how you find it. Well, in Scotland, we say Slan Shiva.
So in Scotland we say Slang Shiva.
Perfect!
Yeah.
Slan Shiva.
Yeah.
Slan Shiva.
Slang Shiva.
Perfect. It means good health.
Good health.
Good health.
First taste of whiskey?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I usually because I had the best one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
Started
was
with the best.
Yes, now I can, if somebody will ask me, then I can say yes, I will have it because I had the best one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, that's everything for today. We hope you enjoyed this vlog.
Bye bye. See you next